Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome inside the Athletic Fitness Center here on the campus of Chatham University. It's the PAC Game of the Week on the PAC Sports Network. The Chatham Cougars hosting the Geneva Golden Tornadoes. I'm Dave Floyd, filling in for Randy Gorn. Alongside me is Justin Piles. We're going to step aside as we have the national anthem here at the Athletic Fitness Center.
Bankruptcy myths busted.
I heard you lose everything you own when you file bankruptcy.
The whole point of bankruptcy is to get a fresh start, and that's only possible if you have something to start with. In over 95% of bankruptcy cases, individuals keep everything they own, including their home, car, pension, and household goods.
Myth busted. Bankruptcy myths busted. Brought to you by Foster Law Offices. Call today to schedule a free consultation and sleep better tonight.
For 3 generations, Sharps Furniture has been proud to serve Southwestern PA with their brand of personal service. Being an authorized dealer for Lazy Boy, they are dedicated to providing the finest quality products made here in the US of A. Looking for custom upholstery? Sharps carries a large selection of upholstery to choose from, all made in America. And their friendly staff will deliver right to your front door. Sharps Furniture, your authorized Lazy Boy dealer. Family owned, family operated since 1917. Located just off I-70, exit 19B in Washington, PA.
Welcome back. Getting set to start the PAC Game of the Week here between Chatham and Geneva as we get set for this one. Looking quickly at the records of the two teams. Chatham coming in at 1-6 overall, 0-1 in PAC play. Geneva also 0-1, 0-6 on the year, still searching for their first win. So these two teams desperate to trying to get on the right track here in the early season, Justin.
Well, I think that's the important thing today is that one of these squads will pick up their first conference win and hopefully take a big step forward. But just looking at the way the season's gone for them so far, I think both these teams have taken that step forward simply on the offensive side of the basketball. The scoring's up for Chatham and Geneva this year. Chatham last year averaged 48 points per game. This year they're at 57, and Geneva's doing an even better job of filling up the basket. Last year they were at 43 points per game. This year, 66 points per game, and a big reason why are the sharpshooters on each team. There's a lot more scoring to go around, a little more balance, but both teams sinking it more from beyond the three-point arc as well. Two of those individuals we'll see today for the host Cougars, Rachel McLean. She's our triple three-point shooter on that side. She is a 12 of 44 from 3, clicking at 27%, and our triple three-point shooter for Geneva is Marissa Haney. She is at 32%, made 13 threes this season. So looking forward to a good afternoon of basketball here from Chatham, and right away set for tip, and both these teams eager to get that first conference win, Dave.
No doubt about it. Here in the center circle for the tip, Emily Schmidt for the Cougars and Samantha Fisher for Geneva. Referees are Ron Conley, Antoine Love, and Ty Kovich. Here's Conley to throw it up, and Chatham controls here on the opening possession. Starters for Chatham, Elizabeth Lewis, Rachel McLean, who has the basketball in her hands right now, Schmidt, Jessie Hinkle, and Jessica Manfredi. Top of the key, it's McLean with it. Now Manfredi, the freshman, inside to Schmidt. Chatham has the height advantage. Didn't work out for him there. Schmidt misses her first attempt of the day.
We'll see if they try and go inside with her again. 6'3", Emily Schmidt.
Got a foul here before the shot on Chatham. It's McLean picking that one up. First team foul for the Cougars here, just 32 seconds into the contest.
And a lot of youth out there on the floor for both teams. Chatham starting a sophomore and 2 freshmen, along with Elizabeth Lewis, a senior, and Emily Schmidt, a junior. And Geneva starting 3 freshmen and a sophomore around senior Samantha Fisher.
So a ton of youth and inexperience as we have a block there by the Cougars. Now on the left wing, thinking about a 3 there was Miranda Haney. Instead passed up, and now the short jump shot is off the iron, no good. Geneva with another offensive rebound. Top of the key now, it's Mann. Right wing to Miranda Haney. Now it's Nicole Highland, the freshman, who leads them in scoring, and she walks with it. So first turnover of their contest, and Chatham takes back over.
Now, taking care of the basketball is such a big thing, regardless of any game, really. That's your number one thing. You want to not give your opponent a free possession. Both these teams are trying to limit here this afternoon.
No doubt about it. And talking with Coach Rechtenwald for the Cougars, she said they were able to force some of those turnovers with their press against St. Vincent, as McLean's three-pointer is up and good, and Chatham on the board first. They lead at 3-0.
Well, she's their leading scorer and biggest threat from beyond the arc. Geneva has to get a hand, maybe two hands in her face, because she's clicking at 15 points per game.
Geneva on the other end now. Highland guard at top of the key, loses her feet. McLean dives to the ground to try to pick it up, and the jump ball, and we'll stay here with the Golden Tornadoes. Starting lineup for Geneva: Mary Keene, Heidi Mann, Miranda Haney, Nicole Highland, and Samantha Fisher. Those are still the 5 on the floor here for Geneva. They only have 7 dressed, as they also have 2 injuries today, and we'll get to those in a moment. And here's Fisher with it on the baseline and dribbles it out of bounds, and another turnover there for the Golden Tornadoes. And those 2 injuries we mentioned: Becca Sargent, the junior, a guard out of East Springfield. Now she's out with a concussion, and then Rachel Campbell also out with a broken hand.
That leads to a shorthanded bench, just 2 reserves for Geneva. Makes it difficult if you want to press or try and run the floor.
And just over 2 minutes into this one. Just 3 points scored on a 3 by McLean, and here she is again, nothing but net. And Rachel McLean with 2 triples early on gives the Cougars a 6-0 lead. Baseline now off the fingertips there of Heidi Mann and out of bounds, and Chatham with a good start here in this one.
Yeah, up 6-0 on your home floor, and a couple of nice threes from McLean.
And their head coach said that they got a little confidence, even though they lost at St. Vincent. They thought they played pretty well, and they know that's a quality St. Vincent team, and it certainly seems like they've carried some of that in here. And into the lane there for the layup is Jess Manfredi, the freshman. And 8-0 now is the lead as we approach 3 minutes gone in this first half.
Oh yeah, and when you can get a lane like that, that helps out confidence as well. You get a little more drive to attack the basket. We were checking out the Chatham St. Vincent game when we were at Grove City. We were broadcasting Thomas More in Grove City, but we were doing scouring around the entire conference, checking on the scores and everything. And that was one that particularly stuck out to us during the women's game up at Grove City. And Chatham went into halftime against St. Vincent just down 7. And that game was a 3-point game just before halftime, and then a St. Vincent run in the second half opened that game up for the Bearcats. But that was one we had our eye on for much of the evening, because it was definitely surprising to see Chatham give St. Vincent that kind of hardship in the first half.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It was a 17-0 run by the Bearcats that finally broke it open. And here's Highland underneath, can't get a couple bunnies to fall, and Chatham moves the other way with it. Senior Elizabeth Lewis. Now it's McLean again, her third 3. This one's off the back of the iron, no good. And it remains 8-0 Chatham here in the early goings.
She had it lined up just a little bit strong. Was shooting the basketball with a lot of confidence. As soon as she grabbed that at the top of the arc, she wasn't messing around. It was in and out of her hands. Oh, nice backdoor cut there. Mary Keene with the first 2 points for the Golden Tornadoes, just finding a lane, and good pass there, good bounce pass, giving her space.
Yeah, Keene, that lone senior in this starting lineup for Geneva. Excuse me, 2 seniors, her and Fisher, as McLean fires up another 3, and it goes again. Rachel McLean, her 3rd triple of the afternoon, and it's 11-2, 4 minutes gone in the first half.
Yeah, someone's going to have to keep an eye on number 11 in white. She headed for a big afternoon already with 9 points.
3 of 4 here in the opening 4 minutes, as that shot off the iron, no good for Heidi Mann. And controlling it there for Chatham was Chelsea Kowalczyk, who's into the game now. The first substitution for either team, and Chatham gets set to send 2 more in. Right corner now, 2-pointer there, and it's Elizabeth Lewis. That's good. And Chatham, with hot shooting early on here, forces a timeout call by head coach Lori Wynn.
Just a 30-second timeout for Geneva. They're just try and regroup, get a little more defensive-minded out there after not really contesting any of those outside jumpers that Chatham's knocked down, but also this maybe to get the Cougars out of their rhythm. Certainly a hot start here, 13-2, and anytime you can get a lead is great, but you get a lead, you're shooting the basketball well, you're on your home floor, a lot of familiarity out there, and that spells good things happening for Chatham. So Geneva trying to quash that right now.
And Chatham's a team last in the PAC in scoring at 57-9 a game. And talking with head coach Sandy Rechtenwald, she said, we know, looking at the averages, if they score their average and we score ours, it's not going to come out well for us, with Geneva scoring 66 points a contest. So they certainly came out firing here early on, and they have a big lead, 13-2, just over 4.5 gone in this first half.
I think the big key for Chatham here is not just to keep the offense clicking, but also tighten it up on defense, because they've had trouble keeping teams down on the scoreboard. And several games in the 80s, 3 games in the 90s in terms of points given up. So you have a 13-2 game, and yeah, you'd like to keep the offense going. This is a good time here to keep Geneva at bay if you can tighten up your defense and make them take outside shots. Don't give them easy looks like Mary Keene had for the lone field goal for the Golden Tornadoes.
Here's a long three-pointer by Dana Eastman, the freshman, into the game for the first time. It doesn't go, and Geneva heads the other way with it. Underneath is Highland. Freshman out of Penn Trafford High School gets her own rebound, puts it back up, and is going to be fouled on the play. Look like Chelsea Kowalczyk picking up her first foul. That's the team's third. And Highland will go to the line to shoot 2. Highland 56, almost 57% from the charity stripe on the year. And the first one goes. Second shot for Highland off the rim, no good, and the rebound there for Kowalczyk. So the lead is 10 for the Cougars. 14:44 to play in this opening half. Here's McLean, a star of the game so far for Chatham, hands it off, and now it's Shashura into the game for the first time. Chatham moving it around the perimeter here offensively.
Yeah, nice ball moving, but 8 to shoot, and gonna have to look for a shot here soon.
5 to shoot, good ball fake there, and then the shot by Kayla Saylor, but it's too long. And Nicole Highland taking it the other way to Geneva. Good pass ahead to Haney. Fouled on the play, cannot get the bucket to fall, but she'll shoot 2. Believe they called it on Kowalczyk again, but tough to tell. Here's Miranda Haney's first shot, and it goes. So 13-4 here with 14:15 to play in the opening half. Miranda Haney, we already talked about how good she's been from the three-point line, almost 40%. And she's pretty solid from the free throw line as well, almost 82%. She knocks down 2 there. Chatham now with it. 3-point attempt here again by Eastman, and it's off the mark, no good. Geneva trying to run. Here's Haney. Looking for her twin sister there, Marissa, but couldn't find her on the fast break, and Geneva has to reset. And here's Marissa with the three-pointer. Doesn't go. Geneva tries to track it down, but good defense there on the play by Hinkle. Now Chatham tries to run, and underneath Saylor with a good look at the basket, and she scores.
Well, set up by Eastman. Just a bounce pass from the opposite side of the lane. Good patience by Saylor, not letting the defender impede that shot at all. Got a little pump fake. The Geneva player went past, and she had an easy open look at the lay-in.
And there's Highland, can't get it to go off the glass. Chatham trying to run again, and a turnover here for the Cougars. 15-5, they lead it early on. 13:22 to play in this first half. A couple substitutions here for either team. Emily Schmidt, one of them coming back in for the Cougars. We talked about her early, maybe Chatham trying to get her established underneath with her height advantage, but hasn't seen too much of the ball with those threes by McLean. Baseline now. Fisher can't get it to go, and we'll stay here with the Golden Tornadoes.
I think it was last touch by Schmidt. She reached for it, and I think she got a piece of it after she tried to not touch that ball, but she did. Went out of bounds. Geneva will have an out-of-bounds play.
in the lane there, thinking about a shot, was man. Instead, she'll reset the offense. 8 to shoot. Into the paint as man breaks free a little. Fouled on the play. And they're going to say no shot here. Foul on the play by Emily Schmidt.
Yeah, a little out of control there from man. Couldn't quite corral that basketball to get a shot off.
And Schmidt checks out. It missed one foul early on, and it could have been, she's picked up her second now. Here's a three-point attempt by Marissa Haney. Doesn't go. Good rebound there for Kowalczyk.
And getting bumped around a little bit, too. Did a good job of holding on to the basketball.
So Chatham still with this 10-point lead early on here. Again, both teams 0-1 in PAC play, searching for that first victory on the young conference schedule. Inside the paint here, trying to find room was Hinkle.
She's tied up with Samantha Fisher. It'll be a foul on Fisher.
She picks up the foul, if I'm not mistaken, the first for the Golden Tornadoes in this first half. So out of bounds play here for Chatham underneath. Kowalczyk, now McLean. Now over to Shashura. Looking for Hinkle inside, but couldn't quite find her, and we're going to have a hand check called here on Lydia Steele, the senior out of Vandergrift, Pennsylvania, in for her first action of the day. And Chatham will do it again from under the hoop. Finally get it into McLean up top. Dribbles right side now off to Shashura. Three-pointer well deep. Didn't even catch any iron. And the fight for the ball is going to go out of bounds and over to Geneva.
Yeah, even though McLean had some success early on with the three, it seems like Chatham's starting to force a little bit from the outside.
And now you see that press that mentioned earlier. They felt they had some success with that St. Vincent, but Geneva breaks it well. They get it to Lydia Steele, but she can't hang on, and it's out of bounds over to Chatham. Another turnover there for Geneva.
That's what the press does. It speeds you up a little bit, tries to make you play outside of yourself, and Geneva just a little too fast coming up the floor that time, unable to hold on the basketball.
And even when you think you may have a layup at the other end, still unable to corral it. Underneath now, we have a foul on the play. Heidi Mann picking up that foul for Geneva. And Coach Wynn talking about how she's now just really getting into the groove of things. Also the leading scorer on the Geneva women's soccer team. So it takes her a couple games to get back in the swing of things, and especially on the offensive end, finding her rhythm, shooting the basketball.
Yeah, she had a tremendous soccer season last year, scoring 18 goals as a freshman, actually leading the PAC. And it's a nice luxury to have, because in soccer you run all the time, and so she must have great conditioning and great endurance out there.
Yeah, no problem. I'm sure transitioning in that sense. Just the skill set that changes as this one's knocked out of bounds, but will stay with Chatham.
We were actually talking to Coach Wynn yesterday about Heidi Mann, and she had mostly nothing but compliments, but she did talk about how Heidi plays defense, and how playing defense in soccer is a little bit different than playing defense in basketball, because it's more of an area in soccer. You're just trying to keep people in front of you, and obviously in basketball you're much more right on the person's hip. So just kind of that little nuance was something that she's still need to get her basketball legs under her with.
Two sport athletes, you always have that transition one season to another. Is Geneva, good pass there from Fisher, finding Highland on the cut, and Highland with 3 points here in the first half, and it's 15-7, 11-20 to play here in the first half.
Well, Geneva's finding success right down the lane with those cuts. They have the ball out top, and then someone flashes to the middle to get on the ball, and it's been an easy lay-in, so something Chatham has to address defensively.
Here's McLean looking for her fourth three of the afternoon, and she's got it. 12 points on 4 of 5 from behind the three-point arc, and the Chatham lead back up to 11. Here's a shot from the corner by Lydia Steele, doesn't go. Chatham pushes quickly the other way. Cougars on the strength of 4. Rachel McLean, three-pointers are up 11 here, almost halfway gone in the first half. Three-point attempt here by Lewis doesn't go. And now a scrum underneath the basket. I think we're going to have a foul called on Lydia Steele, and that is the call from referee Antoine Love, and I'll take it out underneath the basket. Some substitutes for either team here. 2 for Geneva, 1 for Chatham. And they're lined up to shoot foul shots here.
I think it's just a ball out of bounds. A little premature of everybody.
I thought so as well. As now they get things sorted out, and Chatham runs their play from underneath the hoop and get it inbounds to Lewis. 2-3 zone here by Geneva. 3-point attempt here is good for Jess Manfredi, the freshman. 5 points for her here early on, and it's 21-7. The Cougars up quickly on the other end now. Marissa Haney stops that short spurt by Chatham, but it's still a 12-point lead for the Cougars.
And Chatham will certainly trade their 3s for 2s. But still need to tighten up defensively, because you know that shooting eventually will go cold, even if it's just a little spurt. Oh, nice ball movement there. Perfect. Looking opposite there for Jesse Hinkle, opposite side of the lane down low. And another lay-in opportunity for Chatham.
Chatham just clicking on all cylinders on the offensive end so far here today. And as a result, they're up 14. Here's McLean again, and she's got another one. Rachel McLean, 5 3-pointers, 15 points for her, and it's 26-9. Chatham leads at timeout. Geneva will step aside as well. Again, a 17-point lead here for the Cougars, 9:36 to play in the first half.
Hi, I'm John Williams, Superintendent of J&D Waterproofing. If you have bowed or cracked walls due to water seepage in your basement, give us a call at 1-800-VERY-DRY. We've been a family-owned business serving the tri-state area since 1939. We specialize in foundation repair and basement waterproofing, and we're dedicated to service and 100% customer satisfaction. Call us today at 1-800-VERY-DRY for a free estimate. J&D Waterproofing, serving the tri-state area for 71 years.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
5 3-pointers by Rachel McLean here in the first half, and Chatham has a 17-point lead over Geneva here at home. And now they're employing the press defense again. It forced a turnover last time. This time it appears Geneva has gotten through it, but a slip there by Miranda Haney, and again that sped up attempt by Geneva to get through causes a turnover.
Yeah, Chatham speeding up Geneva. Also a good technique to employ because Geneva is shorthanded on the bench, just 2 substitutes, so maybe tire him out is the plan.
And here's Elizabeth Lewis who's going to be called for the travel. So turnover Chatham. Now a substitute Eastman's going to come back in. McLean, the hot hand so far for Chatham, will take a seat.
I don't know why you take her out of the game with the way she's shooting, but maybe just to catch her breath for a moment.
And here's another Geneva turnover as this one sails over the head. A pass attempt from Mann to Haney, Miranda Haney that is. Last game against Teal, Geneva forced 30 turnovers. This time they're struggling with turnovers themselves. Down 17 here, inside 9 to play in the first half. Lewis with it, Geneva still in that 2-3 zone, it looks like, with the way Chatham's shooting, surprising that they are, but that one's going to go off the back of the iron, no good, and Geneva the rebound.
It's okay to play a zone if a team's shooting well from the outside, but you have to extend it to the 3-point arc. You can't just keep it in all 5 defenders out there. You have to extend it and get it in the shooters' faces.
Heidi Mann finally on the score sheet with that last layup for Geneva. So the lead is now 15 for the Cougars. Lewis thought about a 3 herself, now goes baseline inside, trying to find Ashley Fox into the game for the first time for Chatham, but that one's going to go over to the Golden Tornadoes.
That was the right idea by Lewis, and Chatham's used the bounce pass several times with success.
And here's on the other end, fast break attempt here for Saylor, and she gets it to fall. Kayla Saylor on a good breakout pass there, and Chatham's lead back to 11. Miranda Haney with it now for the Golden Tornadoes, and that pass is tipped by Saylor. And another turnover caused by this Chatham defense. Other way with it now. Lewis had some room into the paint, tried to find Fox again. Kick ball, and it'll stay here with the Cougars.
Yeah, Chatham's not wasting any time attacking the basket, too. Still early in the shot clock, but they're going right at it, down low, trying to find another scoring opportunity, trying to fill up the basket again.
They get the ball in bounds here. Eastman, now to Shashura and Manfredi. Moving it around the perimeter. Now they get it inside the paint and back out. Three-point attempt here by Manfredi's off the rim, no good. And Geneva with the rebound. That's Keene with it.
Still surprised McLean's on the bench. Thought we'd see her back just in a moment since she got her wind again.
Yeah, you would think just a quick spell for someone who's hit 5 threes in the first half, but she remains on the bench. Again, we talked about how they have the advantage there. 5 girls on their bench to just 2 for Geneva, playing with just 7 dress players here today. As this shot by Shashura doesn't go, and the jump ball will stay with the Cougars. Substitute now for Chatham. Kowalczyk back into the game. Ashley Fox, the senior, checks out. Fox averaging just over 4 minutes a game coming in.
I think they're talking about the shot clock. I think nope, we're good to go.
And they had reset it, and like they may think about changing it, but they will stick with that 30 on the clock. And Chatham gets it in. Here's Shashura. Now Manfredi. A 3-point attempt here from Shashura, and it goes. So the hot shooting continues here for Chatham, and the lead is all the way up to 20 points with 6:30 to play in this first half. Other end, good job by Geneva to get down and get some points. Samantha Fisher with her first deuce. Shashura, who hit the 3 the last time. Now Eastman's going to take one. Looked like it was partially blocked, but good heads-up play by Kowalczyk underneath the basket to find the basketball and put it up and in to get that lead back to 20.
She can go back and look at the tape and say that was a great pass.
That's right. That's what Eastman, will say. As this shot well off the mark there from Fisher. She tries to get back on D. Chatham taking advantage of slightly undermanned Geneva team here, up 20 in the first half. There's a travel, though, on Dana Eastman. And a turnover for the Cougars. And here comes McLean back in, as well as Lewis. McLean, of course, 5 threes so far here in the first half.
Yeah, already at her average. Average is 15 points a game coming in. So at 15 with those 5 threes. I don't think she's attempted a 2-point field goal yet. Everything's been along the outside.
I don't think so either. I guess when you're making them at the rate she does, just keep doing what you're doing. Geneva working against this man defense of the Cougars. Down to the floor goes man, but she's able to keep her dribble and get the pass off. Shot attempt there by Keene. Good rebound by man, but she missed underneath. It's going to be out of bounds as Hinkle tried to fire it off a Geneva player, almost hit her own player in the head. Geneva, it seemed like they've had some opportunities under the basket, just not able to convert here in the early going.
Well, they've really spread out the Chatham defense. Notice again when they go offense, they set it up, it'll be 4, sometimes 5 beyond the arc, and they just flash in the middle there, and they've really taken advantage of that Chatham man defense, not sagging back with them, not following their men. Doing a better job here of keeping them along the outside. There's a turnover, ball out of bounds off of Geneva. Where the Golden Tornadoes have had success has been those players flashing in the middle, and they get it to them for layup opportunities. And the outside shots really a non-existence part of their game so far for Geneva. It's all been inside when they've been able to score.
And you're right about that. They've had some open looks that they've knocked down. They've also had some that haven't gone. And here's another 3-pointer from Rachel McLean. Just unreal in this first half. 18 points on 6 3-pointers, and the lead now swells to 23 for the Cougars. Now Geneva on the other end, shot partially blocked there by Kowalczyk, then she got it back, and now Highland is able to pick it back up for Geneva, and a foul on the play. Elizabeth Lewis is going to pick up the foul for Chatham.
A lot of places keep track of three-pointers made in a game. I wonder if they have a record of three-pointers made in a half, because we have to be approaching that with 6 for McLean.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. And was she your triple hot shooter of the game? I don't.
She was.
That's a pretty good call on your part, as Highland in the lane is able to get that one to go and cut into that lead a little. It's still 21 points, and here's Shashura trying to make it 24, but it's off the rim, no good, and Lydia Steele with the rebound. Blocking foul here on McLean, so she does pick up her second foul. That may be Geneva's best defense for her right now, is to try to get her on the bench with a couple fouls. So we have 3 changes for Chatham right now. McLean will take a seat. 4:06 to play in this first half. It's a 36-15 Chatham lead in a matchup against a 1-6 Chatham team and an 0-6 Geneva team. Second PAC contest for both, as Highland is blocked in the lane by Emily Schmidt, and Chatham's able to take possession. There's that height advantage coming through for the Cougars. Shashura on the other end. Wild shot doesn't go, but Schmidt is there for the putback. First deuce for the junior. 38-15. Here's Steele with it. Tries to get in the lane, passes behind Marissa Haney, but her twin sister picks it up in the corner, in the first triple of the game there for the Golden Tornadoes. And they cut into the lead. It's back to 20. Elizabeth Lewis walking the ball up court. Now to Manfredi. Chatham working it around the perimeter. Again against this Geneva 2-3 zone. Here's Lewis. Now to Shashura. Closing in on 3 minutes to play in the half, and there's Schmidt. Misses a shot from close in, and Geneva gets the rebound. Geneva trying to cut into that big lead, and here's a driving attempt by Highland, but it's going to be an offensive foul. The basket went, but an offensive foul on Highland sends this the other way with Chatham.
That was Kayla Saylor sitting there in the lane. Certainly was planted, had position. Did a good job picking up that charge.
Now Highland's going to exit after picking up her second in favor of Mary Keene, the senior, coming back in. So inside 3 to play now in the first half, a 20-point Chatham lead. And they try to find Schmidt under the basket, but good help defense there by Fisher. Coming over to knock that one away. 20 to shoot here for Chatham as they inbound under the hoop. Saylor trying to find Schmidt again, as they're trying to establish her inside, but haven't had success the last couple trips down. Corner now, Fisher to Steele. Found some room, and she's able to put up the left-handed layup, and it goes. And a quick timeout called here by Coach Rechtenwald. We'll step aside quickly as well. 38-20 on the PAC Sports Network.
Bankruptcy myths busted.
I heard you lose everything you own when you file bankruptcy.
The whole point of bankruptcy is to get a fresh start, and that's only possible if you have something to start with. In over 95% of bankruptcy cases, individuals keep everything they own, including their home, car, pension, and household goods.
Myth busted. Bankruptcy myths busted. Brought to you by Foster Law Offices. Call today to schedule a free consultation and sleep better tonight.
38-20. Chatham leads it. They also have the basketball here. 2:27 to play in the first half. The PAC game of the week between the Cougars and the Geneva Golden Tornadoes. Chatham with the basketball, of course, moving left to right across your computer keyboard here. Manfredi now moves it right side. Wide open for three is Eastman, but this is off the back of the iron. No good. Saylor, though, with the rebound, and Chatham has a new shot clock. To Schmidt underneath again, and this time she'll be fouled. Going up for the shot, Heidi Mann clamped down on the arm of Schmidt there, and Emily will go to the line for two.
Pretty much all she could do. Schmidt, another open look. Had a right-handed lay-in. That was a good foul to put her at the line and make her shoot from a little bit farther away, although she knocks down that first free throw.
And she hits that first one, just over 50% on the year from the stripe, so see if she hits right around her average. No, she's got them both, so 4 points for her here in the first half. Points 39 and 40 for the Cougars. And they have that 20-point lead again. Top of the key, it's Keene. Now a three-point attempt here from Miranda Haney. Doesn't go. Rebound fought for, and Haney gets her own rebound eventually, and a foul called. Here it's going to be a 1-on-1 situation. I think Easton got caught reaching in there.
Yeah, Dana Eastman just bumped Miranda Haney a little bit, so she'll head to the line. Keep your Haneys in order in this game, which is a twin sister Marissa.
Of course, they got to make them 20 and 21 as well. We'll try to keep them straight for you as it's Miranda at the line right now. She's got the only three ball of the first half for Geneva. She's shooting the 1-and-1 here, misses the front end, so leaves that one open. Rebound fought for, jump ball between Schmidt and Fisher. Geneva will keep possession. So Haney, we already talked about her being a pretty good foul shooter. 8th in the conference at almost 82%, but misses the front end there. Geneva fortunate to get the rebound. Here's Fisher inside, good step around, and she's gonna be fouled. See who the call's against, that's Schmidt. At least two on her. You may have heard Coach Rechtenwald in the background there say let him play.
Yeah, you don't like the foul situation at the end of the game when you're trying to maintain a lead. Well, Chatham's still trying to maintain this lead here. I think the quicker that they can get to halftime, the better off they are. Geneva trying to slice into this lead and scoring points with the clock stopped on free throw opportunities is a good bet right here. So that's exactly what they're trying to do and what they're doing.
Now they got to convert on those attempts. Unfortunately for the Gold Tornadoes, Fisher misses both of them, so she misses two. Miranda Haney misses the front end of a 1-and-1. And they come up empty on that trip, still trail by 20 inside a minute and a half to play in this first half.
And the Cougars can be patient here with this lead and 14 on the clock.
Yeah, no need to rush it here if you're Chatham. 10 to shoot though. Do need to start making a move here soon. 5 on the shot clock. Shashura into the lane. Good take, and she's fouled on the play. Threw it up with that right hand. Didn't catch any iron, but she'll go to the stripe for 2.
Yeah, fouled with 2 seconds on the shot clock. It's not something you want if you're a coach. Bailing out a player. As that shot clock's winding down, Shashura just threw it up with her right hand, kind of out of control coming down the lane.
Yeah, she did all she could do, and you're right, you don't want to see that if your coach win. And Shashura connects on that first foul shot. So she's got 4 here in the first half. 8 3-pointers altogether for the Chatham Cougars. Shashura has one of them. She's also has those 2 foul shots to give her 5 points. Manfredi with the 3, and of course the 6 for McLean. It's 42 to 40. Here's Keene. Right wing behind the 3-point line. Out of steal. Now Haney, Miranda that is, and she thought Fisher was going to zig, and she zagged, and another turnover here for the Golden Tornadoes. Other end, Manfredi wide open for 3, and it goes. Jessica Manfredi, her second triple of the half, and it is a 25-point Chatham lead.
Yeah, forget about sitting on that lead. Let's just expand that lead. Not making another one from downtown.
I think they would have ran some more clock, but she was just so wide open, and she took advantage. Geneva now with just 13 on the game clock. In the lane, Fisher, left hand doesn't go. Rebound Chatham. 7 seconds left. Lewis trying to rush it up court. 3 on the clock, puts it up, and it doesn't go. So not indicative of the way this first half has gone for Chatham. 9 3-pointers, and they lead it by 25 after one half.
Yeah, that was an impressive showing, especially from beyond the arc. I was curious about this game just because I knew we were talking about the Chatham game against St. Vincent and saw how competitive they were with the Bearcats. I had a hunch about how they would come out, but I didn't know that it would be like this.
Yeah, I don't think too many people did. A 25-point lead, 45-20. Chatham leads it at half. We'll be back in a moment on the PAC Sports Network.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help.
Welcome back. It's halftime here at the Athletic and Fitness Center on the campus of Chatham University. The Cougars lead at 45-20 over Geneva in the second PAC contest for both teams. Let's take a quick look at the statistics for both teams, starting with Geneva. A lot of players on the score sheet for them. Actually, every player in uniform so far here today, but nobody with more than 5 points. Keene, Mann, Fisher, Marissa Haney, and Lydia Steele all with 2, and then 5 for Miranda Haney and Nicole Highland. So a lot of balance, but you need a little more on the offensive end when you give up 45 points in the first half like they did. Chatham, on the other hand, of course, the big scorer for them, Rachel McLean, 6 3-pointers to give her 18 points in that first half. Jessica Manfredi, the freshman out of Sarah Catholic, she had 2 triples of her own to give her 8 points. 5 for Shashura, 4 for Schmidt, 4 for Saylor, 2 for Lewis, Hinkle, and Kowalczyk. So they're spreading around as well, and only 12 points away from their season average already.
Yeah, it's an impressive showing in the first half, and sometimes a hot shooting team, the worst thing that can happen to them is a halftime break or any type of break where they can lose their rhythm shooting the basketball. But sure, Coach Rechtenwald will go in there and preach, the same kind of things, how you started out the game, shoot the basketball with that same confidence coming out here in the second half, especially if you miss 1 or 2. Don't hold back at all, just shoot with the capabilities that we saw in the first half. And on the other side, Geneva's just got to look to get a hand in somebody's face, play a little bit defense on beyond the arc, because the way Chatham's shooting the ball, maybe a fouling a 3-point shooter, while that's kind of a cardinal rule you just don't do, it might keep them out of their rhythm a little bit, making them shoot some free throws.
That may be the best defense at this point. We talked about teams struggling to stop others, and right now it's Geneva struggling to stop the 3-point shooting attack of the Chatham Cougars. So again, Chatham ahead 45-20 at half, and now it's time to send it to our J&D Waterproofing halftime feature.
The Chatham University campus is unassuming, tucked into a Pittsburgh neighborhood. It sits in an older community with narrow lanes leading into campus and even a cobblestone road nearby. Lining these vintage pathways are many classic, elaborate houses. Some are still used by private citizens, while many others have been purchased by the university and are now used as dorms or classroom buildings. By just visiting the Athletic and Fitness Center near the school's entrance, visitors to campus may miss many of these buildings, including one of the most historic in the PAC. Just down the road from Chatham's Athletic and Fitness Center is the Mellon House. Acquired by businessman Andrew Mellon in 1917, the estate became one of the most extravagant in the country.
Andrew W. Mellon, he had been divorced a few years earlier, and I think he wanted to get away from the home that he had before and those memories. So he was looking for a new place to raise his children. He had 2 kids, Paul and Elsa. And so in 1917, as I mentioned, he bought this home on Woodland Road. He did have really extensive renovations done to it.
Immediately inside the front door hangs a painting of Mellon himself. It has become a Chatham tradition to wave at Mellon as you enter, as a greeting for entering his estate. Wandering around the main hall, his eyes seemingly follow your every step. The countless large rooms make it clear that Mellon was a man of wealth. After all, during the 1920s, he was the third richest American, only behind oil tycoon John D. Rockefeller and industrialist Henry Ford. As a result, he was able to live a life of luxury and comfortably added some notably modern and sometimes strange characteristics to his home.
Whatever he wanted that was available, he really could have. He had an intercom system, an elevator, there was an indoor vacuuming system, all the, basically the most modern technologies that were available he could have. There was a radio system inside the building. He also had some very odd, sort of interesting features in the building added on the second floor, along with the bedrooms and office space. He had an aluminum room that had aluminum bookshelves, aluminum cupboards, aluminum draperies. So some really sort of interesting and very modern features in the home.
The grounds also included tennis courts, a pond, and delicate gardens. Mellon added a bowling alley in the basement, adjacent to arguably the most prominent feature of the house.
Probably the most spectacular feature that he added was the swimming pool. It had Gustavino tile. That tile is still there today, and it's part of the Mellon boardroom, which they put a lot of effort into preserving when they redid the room in 2007. As the boardroom, and they covered over the swimming pool area. It was used by students as a swimming pool right after it was acquired by the school in 1940. It was one of the first indoor pools in the country, but I mean, if you think about it, Andrew W. Mellon was the third richest man in America at that point. If there was something that could be had, he could have it. They had actually stopped using the swimming pool when they built the Athletic and Fitness Center. So it was used from 1940 up until the early 2000s as the school's swimming pool.
The Mellons had a short stay in the home, which at the time of its official donation to Chatham had already become a part of the campus.
Actually, Andrew W. Mellon only lived in there full-time for 4 years. He became the U.S. Secretary of the Treasury in 1921, and when he did, he moved out and went to Washington, D.C., and so they were only there in Pittsburgh on and off. It wasn't his full-time residence. Now, after his son was married, Paul Mellon, he did give it to him as somewhere where he could live as well. But I don't believe Paul even really lived there for a very long time. And after his father's death, Paul obtained a home in Virginia, and that was when he decided to give it to the school. Andrew W. Mellon was a trustee of the college, so he had had connections to the college before many other buildings on campus were private homes. It's how the campus has been made up over the years, is with these various private homes.
When the Mellon estate was donated to the college, it originally served as a dorm. The various shapes, sizes, and locations of the rooms gave each student a unique experience, different than the uniform living conditions at most colleges today.
The dorm rooms were on the second and third floor. Right away, they used the first floor for more events, and I think there was an alumni office on that floor. But yeah, the place for students was second, third floor. And from what I've read, it was upperclassmen, and it was a special privilege to be up on that floor, or to be in Mellon, because it was such an extravagant place to live. So people would clamor to be in that building in particular.
Presently, the building houses much of the Chatham administration.
It's been the center of campus for pretty much since 1940 when it was acquired. It's basically just the most distinctive building on campus. The Tudor style architecture is just so striking. It's what people remember about Chatham.
Hi, I'm John Williams, Superintendent of J&D Waterproofing. If you have bowed or cracked walls due to water seepage in your basement, give us a call at 1-800-VERY-DRY. We've been a family-owned business serving the tri-state area since 1939. We specialize in foundation repair and basement waterproofing, and we're dedicated to service and 100% customer satisfaction. Call us today at 1-800-VERY-DRY for a free estimate. J&D Waterproofing, serving the tri-state area for 71 years.
For 3 generations, Sharps Furniture has been proud to serve southwestern PA with their brand of personal service. Being an authorized dealer for Lazy Boy, they are dedicated to providing the finest quality products made here in the US of A. Looking for custom upholstery? Sharps carries a large selection of upholstery to choose from, all made in America. And their friendly staff will deliver right to your front door. Sharps Furniture, your authorized Lazy Boy dealer. Family owned, family operated since 1917. Located just off I-70, exit 19B in Washington, PA. When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
.45-20 is the halftime score as we get set for the second half here at Chatham between the Cougars and the Geneva Golden Tornadoes. Of course, the story of the first half was 9 3-pointers by the Chatham Cougars, 6 of them by Rachel McLean. And just that shooting in general was the story, almost 50% total from the field for the Cougars, 45% from behind the arc, and they didn't miss a foul shot either. Geneva, on the other hand, shot just 27.6%, only 37.5% from the foul line, and turned the ball over 11 times. And Chatham certainly took advantage of those turnovers too.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something Chatham's going to look for again here. We saw them incorporate a press throughout the first half, and it led to many of those turnovers. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out here in the second half and really try and put this game away. Up 25 right now. Certainly, game's not over, but you'd like, if you're Chatham, to keep the pedal on the gas and or keep your foot on the gas and just keep playing the way you did in the first half.
No doubt about it. We'll see. I'm not quite sure they can keep up quite the shooting that they had in that first half, but we'll see what happens here as the team switch sides. Now, of course, Chatham going from right to left in the all-white uniforms with purple trim. On the floor for the Cougars, Manfredi, Lewis, Hinkle, Schmidt, and McLean.
Looks like we're getting the clock readjusted. It's still showing zeros, the game clock.
That's what they're working on right now. Get a chance to look at who's on the floor for Geneva. It's Miranda Haney, Keene, Highland, Fisher, and Mann. So those are the 10 on the floor once we get underway here in this second half. Again, the two teams coming in both at 0-1 in the PAC. 1-6 for Chatham overall, 0-6 for Geneva. And two teams, and talking with the coaches yesterday, they understand that they're in a building process and it's not going to happen overnight. But they're working towards the PAC playoffs this year as a goal for both teams. Pass underneath for Schmidt on the first possession is too tall for her, and Geneva with their 8th turnover, Chatham with their 8th turnover of the contest, and Geneva takes over.
And that's how the Golden Tornadoes will have to get back into this game, generate some turnovers and find more success, particularly down low. That's basically where they scored all their points, in the paint. Still looking to pass there. Had a couple options, a couple players flash, but that's kind of been their offense today.
No doubt about it. And it's surprising a little that they're attacking so much in there with the height advantage for especially Emily Schmidt. But with her 3 fouls, she was out of the contest for a lot in that first half, and I think that contributed to their ability to have success in there. Here's the inbounds pass for Geneva. They look back for Highland. Tries to go reverse layup, doesn't go, but Fisher's able to take control. Tries the left hand, no. And we're going to have a travel there on Jess Hinkle as she went to the floor to try to get the loose ball. There's just 45 seconds gone in this second half. Geneva going to try to climb out of a 25-point hole. Here's Miranda Haney into the lane. Looks to pass it off, and it's going to be knocked down and tied up under the hoop.
Looked like she had a lane there. I want to think about putting that shot up next time.
I thought the same thing. Surprised that she looked to pass it off. Geneva's going to retain possession, of course, as Chatham started the half with a basketball. Here's Heidi Mann. Kicks it out. Now she's going to take a shot after she gets it back from the baseline and gets it to go. 4 points for her. And Chatham cuts into that lead just slightly, 45-22.
And she needs to get going along with the rest of the Golden Tornadoes, but she typically averages double figures, and she's just at 4 right now.
And there's Schmidt in the post, matching that deuce on the other end, and they certainly would love to just get her going underneath, feed her the basketball, and waste some clock with this big lead. Here's Fisher trying to step around Schmidt, and there's a double dribble. Pivoted so many times, just forgot she had picked up the basketball, I think, and a turnover for the Golden Tornadoes.
That was the right idea if she hadn't dribbled already, because she did have a lane on the baseline, but that's a violation.
Here's McLean. Top of the key. Tries to find Hinkle underneath, knocked away. Now a long three-pointer by McLean, and it does come up just a little short, but to me like it was off the hands of Fisher, and she couldn't quite get to it, and it'll stay with Chatham. Fortunate there.
Looked like McLean might have forced that ball up. Didn't have the same pretty rotation on that ball coming out of her hand. Came out a little sideways. That one might have been a little outside her range.
Yeah, it was a couple steps behind that three-point arc. Now it's Lewis with it. Now to McLean. Continue to move it around the perimeter, and now they make headway into the paint. Lewis on the left side. Manfredi trying to find Schmidt underneath again, just a bit too tall, but good fight there from Hinkle. However, she was on that purple paint down on the baseline, and it'll go to Geneva. Over 2 minutes gone now in this second half. Still a 25-point Chatham lead as they employ that pressure defense. Geneva gets it across half court and try to set up their offense. It's Highland, and she gets bumped from behind there by Jessie Hinkle. First foul, first team foul for either team here in the second half. Man underneath. Now Fisher into the lane. Good left-handed layup, but it doesn't go. Bounces off the rim, and Hinkle's able to track it down for Chatham.
And that's one place where Geneva could find success, going to Fisher with Emily Schmidt on her.
There's McLean left open for three. This one doesn't go, but good hustle again by Hinkle to track that down. For Chatham, another possession. McLean trying to find Schmidt in there, couldn't get it, and now a turnover as Miranda Haney able to step in the passing lane. Keene now to Fisher. Schmidt gives her plenty of room out there behind the three-point arc. Over 3 gone now in the second half as this pass is tipped out of bounds there by Jessie Hinkle.
Fisher with plenty of room on that right wing, but only attempted 1-3 and has not hit, or did not hit that, so has not made one yet this year.
No problem leaving her out there as they inbound the ball now, does Geneva. Into the lane, man now kicks it to Keene for a short jump shot from the baseline, doesn't go, and rebound tracked down by Kowalczyk, but she stepped on that baseline, and Geneva will get another shot at it.
And good news for Geneva too, the shot clock will reset.
So a slower start to this half as teams have traded 2-point baskets. In the first half, it was a quick 8-0 spurt to start the game as there's a nice inbounds play and a good steal by Miranda Haney, and she's fouled. Fisher was able to knock home the easy layup on the inbounds pass, and then on the ensuing inbounds pass, it was Miranda Haney with the steal, and she'll go to the line for 2. Haney, as we talked about, almost 82% from the stripe. She was 2 for 3 in that first half. And hits the first one there. So she's got 6 points. She's the leading scorer for Geneva. We have a Chatham timeout here, and we'll take one as well. Still a 22-point lead here for the Cougars on the PAC Sports Network.
Bankruptcy myths busted.
I heard you lose everything you own when you file bankruptcy.
The whole point of bankruptcy is to get a fresh start, and that's only possible if you have something to start with. In over 95% of bankruptcy cases, individuals keep everything they own, including their home, car, pension, and household goods.
Myth busted. Bankruptcy myths busted. Brought to you by Foster Law Offices. Call today to schedule a free consultation and sleep better tonight.
For 3 generations, Sharps Furniture has been proud to serve southwestern PA with their brand of personal service. Being an authorized dealer for Lazy Boy, they are dedicated to providing the finest quality products made here in the US of A. Looking for custom upholstery? Sharps carries a large selection of upholstery to choose from, all made in America. And their friendly staff will deliver right to your front door. Sharps Furniture, your authorized Lazy Boy dealer. Family owned, family operated since 1917. Located just off I-70, exit 19B in Washington, PA.
Second foul shot doesn't go for Miranda Haney, so it remains a 22-point lead here for Chatham in the second half against Geneva, and that shot by Saylor on the rebound. It's tipped out of bounds, and Chatham will keep possession. 16:27 to play in this one, with each team searching for their first PAC win here on the young season. Lewis setting up the offense for Chatham. Over to Manfredi. The three-pointer off the back of the iron, no good. Good job by Kowalczyk initially to get a hand on that rebound, but then lost it over to Geneva. Three-point attempt here. Miranda Haney doesn't go, and on the rebound, Heidi Mann is going to pick up the foul over the back of Elizabeth Lewis. And that's the third on Heidi Mann, and I mentioned it a couple times. I don't have a deep bench tonight, so can't afford to get in too much foul trouble. This afternoon, I should say.
That's cold enough outside. It's like it's nighttime.
It feels like it. As here's McLean again looking for three-pointer number 7, but doesn't go. So she's missed her first couple attempts here in the second half after draining 6 in the opening half. Here's Fisher. Gonna drive the lane, instead kicks it back out. Keene. Now a three-pointer there by Heidi Mann. Back of the rim, no good. And the rebound by Kowalczyk. Been very active on the boards here tonight. Quickly the other way, Lewis. Thought about mid-range jump shot. Instead, they'll reset probably wisely here with that big 22-point lead. A pass almost intercepted by Keene. Knocked around, and now Heidi Mann does control for Geneva, and a turnover there for the Cougars. Into the paint. It's Nicole Highland, the freshman, can't get that little running hook to go, and Lewis clears for Chatham. McLean into the lane, blocking foul called as she drove on that left side. Heidi Mann stands up, and she felt that one a little, and she also feels the fact that that's number 4 on her.
McLean will shoot the first thing that isn't a three-pointer today.
And it falls, so similar success for her at the stripe, but she is third in the PAC at 87.5%, so she's a heck of a shooter for this Chatham team, both at the line and behind the three-point line. Second shot is good as well, so 20 points for Rachel McLean, and we're just over 5 minutes gone in this second half. And Geneva taking their time here. They really don't have a ton of time. You want to work and get good shots, but when you trail by 24, it needs to be some sense of urgency. It's a jump ball there, and it'll go over to Chatham.
Yeah, a little too deliberate on the offense. You want to make good passes, but can't afford to waste a whole lot of time trailing by 24. They're down 25 at halftime and only made up 1 point in 5.5 minutes so far.
Yeah, Chatham will be fine with 4 points to this point when they're holding Geneva to what they had. And there's Eastman with a three-pointer for Chatham. And I don't know, did we have just a timeout for a substitute there?
I think we had originally. The net got caught up in the rim on that made three-pointer, and now we will have a full timeout taken by Geneva.
So the Cougars lead it 52-25. It is a 27-point advantage for Chatham here on the PAC Sports Network.
Hi, I'm John Williams, Superintendent of J&D Waterproofing. If you have bowed or cracked walls due to water seepage in your basement, give us a call at 1-800-VERY-DRY. We've been a family-owned business serving the tri-state area since 1939. We specialize in foundation repair and basement waterproofing, and we're dedicated to service and 100% customer satisfaction. Call us today at 1-800-VERY-DRY for a free estimate. J&D Waterproofing, serving the tri-state area for 71 years.
$52-25 is the score here. 14:19 to play in the second half. Chatham ahead of Geneva in this one. The second day of PAC play. We already have one score in. It was the final of the Thomas More Waynesburg game. It was over 100 for Thomas More, and
it was 104-65, I believe is what it was. Yeah, 104-65. Thomas More beating Waynesburg. And that game, actually, Waynesburg had a slight 15-12 lead, and then it all snowballed.
Things turned around from there.
From seeing them, Thomas More on Wednesday night against Grove City, they're a very good team. They've always had a very good program, but they've taken it to another level this year. They're definitely a national power. This team could do some great things.
It'll be certainly interesting to watch them. When we talk to the coaches around the PAC on the women's side, they all realize that that's just a different level of competition when you have to head over to Crestview Hills, as we have a foul called here. It looks like Marissa Haney picking up that one, just her first foul of the contest. Yeah, Thomas More, the 7-time defending PAC champions, certainly look poised to make a run at number 8 this season. Schmidt trying to find that pass inside. It was a good one, the good catch by Saylor underneath, and a foul call there. It's Miranda Haney now, so the twin sisters each pick up their first foul of the contest. They're back-to-back, and this time it's a shooting foul, and Kayla Saylor goes to the line for 2. And the first shot goes for the Pittsburgh native out of Northgate High School. 5 points for Saylor so far. Make it 6 as that one rattles in, out, and then back in again.
Yeah, a couple other scores. St. Vincent up 53-45 on Westminster with 12 minutes to go in the second half. And Bethany taking care of Grove City 41-26. That game just after halftime, but Bison with a 15-point lead early in the second half.
A couple of the other games going on here in day 2 of President's Athletic Conference action. Good pass underneath there, and Emily Schmidt able to finish with the right hand, and I'm sure they love to see that, as getting it underneath to your 6'3" forward and putting some more points on the board, and now employ your press. The lead is now swelled to 31 with 13 minutes to play, as this shot goes off the rim and then out of bounds, and starting to spiral out of control here for the Golden Tornadoes. Chatham brings it up the floor with Shashura. Guarded by Miranda Haney into the paint now to the foul line, I should say, to Emily Schmidt. Now McLean, good ball fake. Foot on the line there, but it's another long jump shot for McLean, and finally she's got a 2-point basket here. And we have another, just a 30-second timeout called here by Coach Wynn, but we'll just keep it here and take a look at some of the numbers here on the shooters for Chatham. 22 points after that 2 by Rachel McLean. That's 6 3-pointers for her. Manfredi's got 2 3-pointers to give her 8. Shashura's got 1 for 5 total, and Dana Eastman also with a 3-pointer. So count them up, that's double digits now. 10 trays so far for the Cougars, and when you score 30 points on 3-pointers, that'll help you to a 33-point second half lead here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and when it rains, it pours too for the Cougars. They came out, especially McLean. She just came out on fire, could not miss, and gone a little bit colder here in the second half. But you know what? They really haven't needed to make a whole lot from beyond the arc, and they've really done a nice job of tightening down defensively. And made a key point of that in the first half as time wound down. But so often teams, when they start pressing or trying to cut into your lead, they'll start doing some different things offensively. And give Chatham credit, they really haven't given Geneva any good looks at the hoop.
There's no doubt that short jump shot by Steele is just the 7th point of the second half for Geneva. They cut the lead down to 31. Here's a long 3 by Eastman, comes up well short, and Highland standing underneath the basket gets the easy rebound for the Golden Tornado. Steele now to Marissa Haney, throws up the 3, doesn't go, and Eastman on the rebound for Chatham. And here's McLean with the easy layup, but it doesn't go. Just a little bit too strong. And now we have a foul called there on Emily Schmidt, and Coach Rechtenwald not happy about that, as that is Schmidt's 4th.
Yeah, I think I agree with her. There wasn't a whole lot of infraction there. It looked like just a jump ball.
And that's tough. Maybe one of those ones where when you have the 31-point lead, you don't get the benefit of the doubt quite as much on the calls as Geneva takes possession. 11:30 to play in this one. Here's Highland. And Kowalczyk falls down. Highland didn't notice, passed it away into the lane. Now she gets it back, though, misses the short shot. And the rebound there for Kowalczyk. McLean ahead. Chatham still running, and this time she finishes the easy layup. 24 points now for Rachel McLean, and it's 60 points for the Cougars, already 2 above their average with just 9 minutes gone in the second half, and another short miss for Geneva. That time it was Samantha Fisher, and a foul called here on Miranda Haney. This is just a case where for Geneva, just not a lot of things going right. The shots just aren't falling on your end, even from right underneath the hoop, and on the other side of the court, it seems like everything Chatham's throwing up is dropping into the basket here, and that's why they trail by 33 here with 11 to play. Into the lane is Manfredi. Outside, McLean's going to fire up another 3, and she's got it again. 7 3-pointers for Rachel McLean. She's on a 5-0 run of her own right now to extend this lead to 36. And Chatham not slowing down on the offensive end. And this is going to be another turnover for Geneva as Keene trying to find Highland underneath. Instead, it was picked off by Manfredi. Other way, Ashley Fox, a long jump shot from the top of the key, doesn't go, and Chatham wisely will reset. Elizabeth Lewis, the senior, taking her time. Off to Manfredi. She's out to Fox. Now Kowalczyk, a tough shot, well deep, and as we tick inside, halfway gone in this second half, it's another Geneva turnover, and Chatham takes over once more here as we have a couple substitutes coming into the game. 9:59 exactly on the clock, and Chatham maintains this 36-point advantage. Talking with head coach Sandy Rechtenwald, she said, you know, their goal is certainly to make the playoffs, which they haven't done in the last couple years. And really, they want to try to avoid that 8th spot as well. As a ho-hum 8th 3-pointer here for Rachel McLean. 30 points now for the Chatham star of the afternoon. She continues her own personal run here as it's an 8-0 run for Rachel McLean. Can we get 10? There it is as she finishes the layup. And the lead is now swelled to 41 points. Timeout here. Chatham running away with it in the second half on the PAC Sports Network.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
It's a 10-0 run for Chatham, or should I say a 10-0 run for Rachel McLean, and the Cougars' lead has swelled to 41 points, 9:23 to play in the second half, and the sophomore guard from Hollidaysburg is having herself quite the afternoon.
Yeah, just a sophomore, so didn't really reach her potential yet, is what you're saying.
I guess we're going to have 40 next year in a couple of games if that's the case, as Geneva just tries to make something happen on the offensive end now, and there's a basket and a foul for Heidi Mann. And at this point, if you're Geneva, you're starting to work on things. Down 41 inside 10 minutes to play in this second half, and you want to try to start moving in the right direction for future games, the future PAC games in particular, as the shot doesn't go for Mann, but rebound fought for, and the jump ball will stay here with Geneva.
The games come quickly, especially after the new year. You have a conference game, 2 conference games every single week, and you can't afford to get on a streak, and you have to have a short memory. Once you lose the game, you have to get right back on, face that next competition. You can't have that hangover to go from one game to another and you're still dwelling on a previous game.
No doubt these December games with the holidays and with a couple non-conference ones thrown in there, you have some time to get back to, where you need to be, but not in January and February, and that's what Geneva needs to work to at this point, as they, barring a miracle, will fall to 0-7 on the year so far, and 0-2 in the PAC. As it's Haney with it, Marissa Haney that is. Now in the right corner, it's Miranda Haney. The twins out of Union High School in Newcastle, as Heidi Mann puts up a shot from the left side, and that's just the kind of day it's been for the Golden Tornadoes as it rims out. And Chatham, go ahead.
Everybody
Justin
on the bench pointing towards McLean. She's got the basketball now. Everybody, get her the ball.
Want to see how many she can get on this afternoon. Inside, though, instead it's Jessie Hinkle with the foul shot, with a shot from close to the foul line. She's going to be fouled on the play, and it looked like that was Mary Keene picking up her second.
It's funny, Lewis had the ball at the top of the arc and looking for someone to pass to. I think everybody on the bench, a couple people in the stands. Get it to number 11.
Let's see what she can do, see what that final total can be, as Hinkle's first shot from the stripe goes. And the second one falls as well. So 70-29, the lead back to 41. And a good layup opportunity there for Nicole Highland. She's got 7 points. It's her first deuce of the second, and another quick steal on an inbounds pass. The second time Miranda Haney has done that, and she will go back to the stripe. Foul called there on Chatham, as it's 7:57 is what's on the clock now in this 70-31 contest. The foul shot from Haney is good. She has 7, so along with Highland, those two the leading scorers for Geneva. And they started talking before the last break about the goals and expectations for Coach Rechtenwald coming in and looking to try to get as high as that 7th spot, as Haney knocks in her second foul shot, because not only do you want to make the playoffs, but you want to avoid Thomas More in the first in the first game. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, that 8 seed will have the unfortunate trip and task of playing at Thomas More, which has become the most difficult thing, I think, in conference basketball.
There's no doubt about that. As mentioned already, 7 in a row for the Thomas More women. But she says, Coach Rechtenwald thinks that magic number may be right around 6 conference wins is what they're shooting for. She said she'd love 8, but she thinks 6 is definitely doable, and that at least gets you in and kind of gets you in that conversation for that 7th, 8th spot. So obviously a long way to go, but it looks like they'll at least get 1 of 6 or 8 here today, excuse me. Chatham with the basketball now. Eastman, as the clock ticks just now inside 7 minutes to play in the contest. Chatham trying to salt this one away. Here's Saylor, fade away from the baseline, doesn't go, and on the rebound, Jess Hinkle goes over the back and picks up her 2nd foul. It looks like we're going to be shooting. We're at the 1-and-1 now. And it's going to be Mary Keene at the line. Only taken 5 foul shots so far this year. She's made 3 of them. The senior out of Mount Gilead, Ohio. And the first one goes, so she'll get to take shot number 2. She has 3 points so far today. Just off her average of about 4.5 a contest. And the second shot goes. And now she'll exit in favor of Samantha Fisher. Fisher, the tallest player on the roster for the Golden Tornadoes at 5'10", the senior forward out of Hopewell. So she's as close as the Golden Tornadoes can come to that 6'3" frame of Emily Schmidt, but Schmidt has spent a lot of time on the bench with foul trouble today. And here's Hinkle in the lane, gets free, easy lay-in for Jessie Hinkle. And she's got 5. (72-35) now the score. 6:15 to play in the second half. Here's a 3-point attempt by Marissa Haney. Doesn't go, rebound tipped around. Fisher gives it a shot, doesn't go. And now Chatham quickly the other way off the hands of Hinkle. It's something I'm sure Coach Rechtenwald would, rather than maybe just pull it out and take some time off, as here's a nice pass by Geneva and an easy lay-in there for Marissa Haney.
A good crisp passing that time by Geneva, resulting in the easy 2-point basket. Yeah, you'd like, if you're Chatham, to finish strong and not turn the basketball over, don't make careless passes.
There's a 3-pointer, a long one there from Shashura, doesn't go. And Geneva brings it up the floor. Cross-court pass there. Good find to find Heidi Mann. And then a jump shot attempt by Fisher doesn't go. Highland underneath. And it's going to be knocked out of bounds. Will stay with Geneva. Highland's had a lot of opportunities under the basket, the freshman. She's the leading scorer on this team at 13-8 a contest. She's top 10 in the conference in scoring, but she's had tough days so far. She's had 7 points, but missed a lot of shots from underneath the basket. And here's a 3-point attempt by Miranda Haney, no, and Schmidt back in with those 4 fouls, gets the rebound. And we're gonna have a foul called there. I think they're gonna get Marissa Haney this time for the push, and we'll have a 1-on-1 situation here for Jess Manfredi. First time at the stripe tonight. Freshman connects there. 9 points for her, already past her season average of 8. Somebody that Coach Rechtenwald said she spent a lot of time recruiting last year. She said if she hits that second shot there to give her 10 points on the afternoon, but she said if all Manfredi does was dive on the floor and make those hustle plays, that would be enough. And she thinks the scoring's come a little bit more quickly than she expected. So a pleasant surprise there for her head coach as Geneva and Highland make a cut into the lane. Doesn't go there. Foul called on Ashley Fox.
A lot of whistles the last few minutes down the stretch.
Broken the flow up of this contest. There's now Highlands at the line. One for two on the day now. 1 for 3. Just a 56, almost 57% foul shooter on the year. And the second shot short as well. Rebound, though, it was a good one by Fisher. Putback doesn't go. Here's Highland again. And once again, it looked like it was partially blocked this time. And now Chatham will slow it down, run their offense, and try to milk this one away. In the lane, it's Shashura. Now back out to Eastman. Far side man, Freddie. Shashura for 3. And she got it, nothing but net. And the lead is back up to 40 as Anna Shashura connects on her second triple of the afternoon. She's got 8, and it's 77-37. .420 to play in this one. Chatham on their way to a 1-1 start in the PAC. This one's knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Geneva. Both of these teams are back in action next Saturday in PAC play. Chatham's going to take on that Thomas More team we've talked a little bit about already. 2 p.m. start at Oakland Catholic High School. Geneva, on the other hand, they will go home and play Bethany. That's 6 p.m. start.
We'll have that game. We have the Geneva-Bethany doubleheader next Saturday.
And after that, we'll, as a lot of the teams will do, we'll break for the holidays, and the next broadcast will then be Saturday, January 4th. Thomas More at W&J, men's and women's doubleheader. The men first in that contest. Make sure you tune in for both of those men and women's doubleheaders on the PAC Sports Network, as it's Shashura again, and she's got 10 now. Fisher trying to find, Steele was looking for the pass from Fisher on that backdoor cut, but Fisher couldn't find her, and Geneva continues to run through their set. Mann with 11 to shoot, puts up a 3-pointer, doesn't go, and the rebound for Chatham. 79-37. Shashura finds Manfredi now underneath the Fox. Short shot doesn't go. And Highland with a rebound for the Golden Tornadoes. Mann, 3-pointer no. Highland the rebound. And knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Chatham. 45-20 was the score at the half. It's now 79-37, and wholesale changes here for the Cougars. They bring back in Saylor, Kowalczyk, Hinkle, Lewis, and McLean, and we'll see if McLean can add to that 30-point total she has already, as we're inside 3 to play. Hinkle, Lewis. They find McLean, and she's looking for another 3 ball. Doesn't go, but it looks like there's going to be a moving screen called here on Jess Hinkle, her 3rd foul of the second half, 3rd total, and this will go over to the Golden Tornadoes. Talking with head coach Sandy Rechtenwald yesterday afternoon, and they said, are you looking at any matchups in particular against this Geneva team? that you want to look at. And she said, we need to work on our own defensive concepts first and get those nailed down before we start worrying about what other people do. And they've done a nice job in this second half, just 17 points given up after just 20 in the first half to keep this lead at where it is.
Yeah, I thought the 20-point effort defensively was impressive in the first half. And they're certainly close to matching or maybe even surrendering fewer points in the second half. And it's sometimes difficult to play defense with a lead. And they've done a nice job of not ignoring it while expanding their lead here in the second half.
A long three there by Kowalczyk as the shot clock was running down, just throws her hands up. That's all she could really do, and it's off the iron, no good. And this one nearing a conclusion, 1:30 to play in this second half, a 42-point Chatham lead, and Highland, the short lay-in doesn't go. Almost looks like she pulled up beforehand, but Mann gets the rebound and puts it home. 8 points for Mann. And here's McLean wide open again, and she's got another three-pointer. Rachel McLean, that's 9 threes for her. And that may be some sort of milestone for McLean, possibly a single game total of some sort, as she now has 33 points on the contest.
Yeah, her record was 8, courtesy of Sports Information Director Dave Hodge, so she just broke that with her 9th three-pointer of the afternoon.
So there it is, and Chatham calls the timeout. It's 82-39. The lead is at 43 points with 1:10 to play, and Chatham, as we said, well on their way to another victory. And again, just to remind you, the next broadcast set up for next Saturday, December 14th, Bethany at Geneva, 6 and 8. Women at 6, men at 8. And then it's a break for the holidays, as a lot of these teams do have. Both of these teams are back in action before the new year, though. Chatham is going to take on Carnegie Mellon at 2 here at home, and Geneva is going to travel to Franciscan at 1. So that's when the teams will get back after it after Christmas. Each looking to, as you said, Justin, get ready for that grind that is January and February in the PAC. Inside a minute to play. Geneva is trying to have some quality possessions here in the last minute. Spin shot doesn't go for Heidi Mann, and the rebound for Hinkle. And now Elizabeth Lewis is going to walk it up the floor. 33 points for Rachel McLean in this one on 9 three-pointers. Her personal best. She is now on the sideline as this last 30 seconds now ticks off the clock. Here's Highland in the lane. Back of the rim. And that's about how the day has gone for Nicole Highland in this Geneva offense, as it just stops right there on the top of the rim. Not much you could say about that.
Nope.
12.5 seconds, and like the men's game, when you may have someone just jump up there and tap it off, we have to find another ball to take care of that. I think that was the hardest time that Chatham's had it, trying to find the mark on the hoop tonight. 12.5 to play, and I would imagine that the Cougars would just dribble this one out as they lead it 82-39. Lewis over to Kowalczyk. Find Eastman. And now Hinkle's going to fire up a three, and that's going to do it. She rushes up to get her own rebound, but Chatham with an impressive performance here today. 82-39. They win it by 43 in PAC conference play. They take down Geneva to move to 1-1. Geneva falls to 0-2 in conference play. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll wrap this one up here on the PAC Sports Network.
disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Main Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help.
(82-39) is the final here from Athletic and Fitness Center on the campus of Chatham University. The Cougars are victorious over the Geneva Golden Tornadoes. Chatham goes to 2-6 on the year overall, 1-1 in PAC play. Geneva falls to 0-7 on the season, still searching for that first win. And they also move to 0-2 in PAC play. This game started out quickly for Chatham, and they never looked back. 8-0 run to start the game, then a basket by Mary Keene. Cut into that lead just slightly, and then a couple more baskets by Chatham, and it was a 13-2 run to start the contest, and that would be the end. They strung together a couple more runs, and then from there it was just the three-point shooting of Chatham, and in particular Rachel McLean. What a day for her. 33 points on the afternoon, 9 3-pointers. She led all scores, of course, with that total. Two other players in double figures, though, for Chatham. 10 for Manfredi, 10 for Shashura, who had 2 triples of her own, as did Manfredi. The other scores for the Cougars: 6 for Saylor, 6 for Schmidt, 5 for Hinkle, 2 for Lewis, and 3 for Dana Eastman. On the other side, for the Golden Tornadoes, it was Miranda Haney and Heidi Mann with 8 each. Nicole Highland also with 7. And from there, Keene had 4, Steele had 4, Marissa Haney had 4, and 2 for Samantha Fisher. But I think the story of this game was clear, and it was Rachel McLean. I think she made it pretty easy to name our Foster Law Office's player of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a great effort by her. Great effort by Chatham, particularly the outside shooting. It was an impressive win, and you can couple this win with the showing they had against the in the first half of the St. Vincent game against the Bearcats before a late Bearcat run tipped that heavily in St. Vincent's favor. But look at these two games, these two conference games that Chatham has played, and you really see a marked improvement from the last couple times we've seen this team. And that outside shooting, that's just a dangerous thing. You never want to face a team that can shoot the ball from the outside the way these Cougars shot it here today. And when you have that outside shot falling like they did, and they literally can beat anybody if you're making it from the outside the way that they did, at the clip that they did, and especially with a weapon like McLean. She just seemed to be all over the court this afternoon, and wherever she was shooting from behind the arc, she was making it.
Yeah, and you said it. That's all you need when you make, count them up, 9, 11, 13, 14 three-pointers. That'll keep you in the game against just about anybody, and that's what happened here today as Chatham comes out on top. So final score again, 82-39. Chatham wins it. They move to 1-1 in PAC play. Geneva falls to 0-2. That just about wraps it up for us. For our cameraman Pete Aloisio, our producer Kat Guyan, and Justin Piles, I'm Dave Floyd signing off. Again, final score 82-39. Chatham wins it on the PAC Sports Network.